Heyo everybody, Haku here with my live reaction bingo for One Piece chapter 1122. I'm gonna be real with you, I think like twice since last chapter I've been like, wait, I've been like thinking about One Piece and been like, wait, what happened last chapter? So I've gone back at two different occasions and reread last chapter because I've been like, wait, hold on, I don't even remember what happened. And the thing is, it was a good chapter too. I feel like I do that with One Piece sometimes though. Sometimes I feel like I just get memory hold because I'll like be like, okay, I need to, the new chapter's out. I'm really excited to see what happens. But then I'm like, wait, where do we leave off? Like, I forget where we left off. But yeah, last chapter was really good. I think the past, like, many chapters actually have been really good. I think the end portion, the climax portion here of Egghead has been really enjoyable for me personally. I think I said it recently where I was like, you know, I always hate on Wano. You know, I always say, like, it's not like it has zero redeeming qualities ever, but those are like really overshadowed by how just awful it was. But post Wano has had its hits and its shits, and when it hits, it really hits. It has had some really incredible stuff. The stuff where we're flashing around to different places and seeing like the stuff with Kobe at Hachinosu, the stuff where we actually got our flashback to what happened at the Reverie. All of this stuff was like incredibly good. The Kuma flashback is incredibly good. This recent stuff is incredibly good. And when it hits, it hits, and when it shits, it shits. And it has had moments like us spending forever to build up this conflict on Egghead, and then having it go absolutely nowhere, where we just skip over the main portion of things, and like just skipping and skimming over a lot. There were occasionally some instances where we got into some Wano Piece territory, where we're just having characters run around explaining things without anything actually happening on screen. So it's had its really high highs and really low lows, and I think where we've been at is a high, and I feel like I don't know where we're going from here. Because to me, it feels like the arc should basically be over. Where we ended off last time, we got this big hit on Saturn, and though the rest of the Gorosei were here, Saturn was really like, you know, the antagonist when it came to Kuma. Why was I about to say Kumo? When it came to Kuma and Bonnie's story. So he was kind of the big antagonist here. And so we had the big final punch against him, and I love that it was Bonnie punching with Luffy's punches coming around, and again, Luffy was still a part of it. So I think that was really good. And we have the Sunny now coming down. We have the giant ship the opposite of disembarking. We have it setting sail. And we have it setting sail, same as, I guess it would be embarking rather than disembarking. Sorry, I got distracted by that. As well as the Sunny coming down from above. So it seems like we're getting out of here. Whether there's one big last sacrifice from Kuma, whether Emeth... It seems like Emeth is going to do some big finale thing where it's going to be destroyed either way, so maybe it uses its weapons to blow itself up or whatever. I still like the idea that Emeth and Zunisha and these characters that we know had connections to Joy Boy, were like maybe members of Joy Boy's like original pirate crew or something way back in the day. And we can see with Frankie's trajectory and building himself giant robot bodies that Emeth could have been some like way far past precursor to Frankie. And I guess that kind of leaves me thinking it's a shame that we're in this era where One Piece is kind of written this way. I mean, I guess it's been a little bit this way from, I don't know if I would say late Wano onward, where we're just kind of skimming over a lot of things, because it feels like I would have liked Frankie to have had more time with Vegapunk. I would have liked Frankie to have some time with Emeth, but either way, that's just a really small nitpick that I don't even know why I'm bringing up here at the beginning of the video. I think it's been fine. So yeah, where I think things are going, I think we should be ending the arc soon. Probably. I think we could get out of here this chapter at the soonest. Maybe just a couple chapters at the longest. I don't think this is actually going to last too much longer. But there's still so much up in the air. Caribou and the Blackbeard Pirates had some stuff going on. We still don't know where exactly Smoker was going or what he was doing. There's still a lot of things up in the air. But either way, let's not leave you any longer before we go through the bingo board and then read. So as usual, I can't show stuff on screen, so to make things funner, to make things more exciting, I always play bingo when we react to One Piece. And if you want to play bingo while you're reacting as well, or while you're reading through, while you're watching the video, I always leave a link down in the comments in the description to a card generator that I update every week, and you can generate your own bingo card so that everybody's is unique. There are different spaces you can get. Of course, they'll all be in a different order when you get them. And so yeah, if you want to play along, that link is there in the comments and description as always. And also, I don't, like back when, a few years ago, I was reacting on the official translation when the official came out, I would always hate when I would kind of get somewhat spoiled when I would just go onto YouTube and see all these thumbnails and titles from people reacting to the scans, and I don't want to spoil anybody like that, so I don't like the official translation. I'm sorry to say, I just really don't like that translation. I think the scans are much better. TCB specifically, I think, is much better when it comes to translating One Piece. So for me, personally, that's the best experience I get. So I don't want to post that early and spoil anybody, so I just wait, and when the official comes out, I post it for those official readers, but what I am actually reading isn't the official, it's TCB's. And when those scans come out, I just put it up without a special thumbnail or title or anything for patrons and members in case anybody else wants to see it early. But since it doesn't have a special title or thumbnail or anything, it's not going to be spoiling anyone. So if you want to become a patron or channel member and see these videos a little bit early, you can. Just whenever I get them up. This scan actually came out like late, like 11 to midnight, somewhere around there for me last night, and I had already recorded a couple of things for hours, so I didn't get time to record last night, so I'm doing this a day later than it came out, but you get my point. So if you want to, patreon.com/HakuOfTheTubes, or a link will be in the description, or just hit join down below to become a member, and patrons and members do get these One Piece videos a little bit early, assuming I can manage that, which typically I can. I think I've only not managed to get it up early like once thus far. But either way, with all of that prelude intro stuff aside, let's see what I got on my actual bingo card here. So I end up with Blood, Sweat, or Tears. That's an easy one. That's a good one. Joy Boy mentioned. We might be getting some stuff like that here. Iron Giant, which is Emeth. That's almost guaranteed, I think, unless we cut away. New name Devil Fruit. That's a tougher. 1000 Sunny. Another pretty simple one. Apparent named character death. Might be tough. Wano Piece is possible. Nika mentioned, also might be easy. Flashback, Lar Kid. That's been a tough one. We have really been cutting away to every single character ever, but we've really not been seeing Lar Kid. Even in the big splash of like everybody's going for the One Piece at the end of last chapter, we didn't see any Lar Kid, I don't think. We got Bounty Reveal, that's another tough one. Smoker, Free Space, which we can click. Admiral, Gorosei, Seraphim, Food, Vivi Wappler Morgans, Any Island Other than Egghead, Named Attack, Pacifista, that's a tough one, weirdly, even though they should be like literally everywhere around here. Vegapunks, and any of the Vegapunks count for Vegapunk. I do love the way that it seems like we're keeping Lilith alive for the good guys, so the good guys have a Vegapunk, and we're keeping York alive for the bad guys, so the bad guys have a Vegapunk. I like that. Cypher Pole, Devil Fruit Awakening, and Silhouetted Character. So my lower half of my card seems a little bit more difficult than my upper half, but really we've just been cutting around so much and doing so much lately that this whole bingo thing hasn't really been as tough lately. We've been kind of playing on easy mode, so we'll have to see where it goes this time around. We're starting off with a jump cover though. Luffy at the front. I'm surprised that there wasn't a more My Hero Academia. I'm surprised there wasn't a bigger My Hero Academia focus since it's its last chapter this week, I think. Unless I'm a week off and we actually get one more, I think this is the last chapter. Alright, sorry, just taking in some of the stuff here. And then chapter 1122, The Time is at Hand. Hold on. Oh, never mind. It's a cover. Was that the Yamato story then? If we're getting a cover request, I don't remember how it ended, but really, that was like nothing. If that was the Yamato cover story, nothing happened. We had a real Zoro moment. Nothing happened. What? And we see Hiroaka and Smoker's smoke, but like as a reference, but what? And his jacket just looks like it says 23. Ugh. Is what it looks like. Um yeah, I don't know. I guess the Yamato story's over? What? So we just have a Smoker cover request. A certain boy from Aichi drew fan art of Smoker 22 years ago. Please, that's why it's a special request. Okay, please recreate it. Okay. Of course, it's because way before he became a mangaka himself and was making Hero Academia, Horikoshi was drawing like One Piece fan art. So this is a recreation of one of Horikoshi's One Piece fan art pieces then by Oda himself. Okay, that makes sense then. So we might actually get back to the Yamato cover story, because I was like, what on earth? I was so confused. I was like, that makes no sense. Why are we ending it here? I guess if anybody has Smoker, I do have Smoker. That is a crazy one. So yeah, I guess you can mark off Smoker if you have it. All right. We're getting, I assume we got to be cutting this message off eventually, right? Every time I think it's ending, every time I think, okay, Vegapunk's done talking, or Vegapunk's been interrupted, or whatever, it just keeps going. The times they are a-changin'. And then, the fate of the world depends on pirates. Hold on a second. And again, all of these crowds have been so important, I don't know how much I should be paying attention to this crowd. Because they've all, like, actually legitimately been so important. I don't know if I should be noticing anything or not, like with this guy carrying a sword or whatever. And that reminds me, there was a silhouette of a dude carrying a sword that I don't think we even know yet. Maybe it's the guy with the burn scar. Some people have said it's the potential Shanks clone or Shanks brother from last chapter, where I was like, who is this supposed to be? And then, hold on a sec. What is this madness, Vegapunk? No way. Our country will sink too? The Navy has to do something. The world's greatest genius just said it's real. Let's go and get it. The One Piece is out there. It's about time we pirates ran the show. The world's gonna sink anyways. Leave some for us. And we're seeing Impel down. Yeah, the government won't know what hit them. Why are you letting them hear the message? Every snail in the prison's playing it, and we can't stop them. How could you, Vegapunk? Luffy-san. And we're seeing Kobe's crew? King of the Pirates. But you'd have to make the whole world kneel to you. Don't tell me you're after the One Piece, and we're getting an insane flashback. We're about to go into a 2-page spread, so before I get to see what that is, let me think if we've got anything else here that I can mark off. We did see Vegapunk. I don't know if we saw Cypher Paul. I'd have to go up a little. We didn't see Vivi Wapple or Morgans. We have seen other islands. Hold on, if we got a flashback. Hold on. All we need's a Joy Boy mention. This might be extreme easy mode. Okay. Anything else here? No, I don't think so. But wow, that is kinda easy mode. Do we got any food, any sweat that I can see? Not necessarily. Actually, we do have sweat coming off of this one random guard. A couple sweat effects on these random guards and stuff. Alright. I don't see any food, though, I don't think. Okay, so, actually, before I continue on, let me just mark it since I'm here. We got blood, sweat, or tears. Okay. Now then. Let's actually continue. Wow, Luffy-san, I have to stop you from achieving your dream. This is so cool. I love seeing like how we're setting up all of these different characters as like potential like One Piece candidates, you know? Potential like finding the treasure candidates. Why are you dummies calling it my world now? You don't really want that, right? Huh? Chairman Buggy? It's our world. ain't it? Chairman Buggy will follow you to the depths of hell, and everyone's crying. He really just pulled an Our World on them. Just sit, says Crocodile. Right. What should we do, Teach? We could just kill him. Caribou. Commodore Teach, I'm sure my information will please you, and so we're getting the Blackbeard Pirates and Caribou. Bring him to me. I'll put him down if his info's a dud. That is the truth. Joy Boy, we just got it. We are playing on easy mode. Craziness. Alright, so I'll stop pausing to mess with the bingo board. I don't know if it's annoying for any of you. I'll stop messing with that for a little while, and I'll just come back through and mark some more stuff at the end, since we did just get easy mode bingo right off the start. What fortuitous luck. And then Joy Boy, he, and Emeth is getting knocked back. Iron Giant! We see the snail crash, and its eyes turn into X's and then white out. We have an explosion. And then we see Venus Juro going after the Sunny. That horse geezer's back. Do something, Zoro. They both go to draw their swords. I'm sorry, Joy Boy. The giant robot? Huh? I want to apologize to you, too. I knew that there was no chance he would still be alive. Did you mistake me for someone else? You just look like him. You look just like him. It was nostalgic. My feelings from that day came rushing back. So again, if maybe Nika potentially existed, maybe he was just a fable and the devil fruit works on copying the fable or whatever, like Buddha or whatever. But whether or not he existed, maybe... So, Joy Boy was the last person that we know of with the Gomu Gomu no Mi, or the fruit. So he ate it, and maybe he achieved awakening, Luffy calls it Gear 5th, and that's why Luffy going Gear 5th, he looks the way that Joy Boy would have looked when he was in awakening state. My feelings from that day came rushing back. I hope Joy Boy forgives me. And Saturn's looking on angrily. I failed to make him king because he lost to the world government and they became king. Okay? And there's a really insane shot with everyone chasing after them as they're leaving, the Sunny going towards the giant ship. Whoa, the giant worm. This is bad. We're gonna sink. King, what is your name? Asks Emeth. I'm Monkey D. Luffy. The man who's going to be king of the pirates. D. And then we see a knot pulled loose. Hey, Luffy. And then Conqueror's Haki, like we have the Black Lightning lines being released. Conqueror's Haki? Thank you. You let me hear that nostalgic rhythm one last time. And all the random soldiers start collapsing from the haki that Emeth seemingly unleashed by unlooping this knot. Don't die. I won't let you die. And we have this massive release. Again, all of the fodder are taken out. Is this haki? It's so strong, says Doll. Who's causing it? And now we see the Gorosei. Looks like they've made it to Emeth. They're transforming back into their human states. And we see... Okay, so actually they don't just de-transform, they get de-summoned. Or summoned away, maybe, by Mars. Mars is still sitting in the palace. And it looks like he used the summoning circle to bring them back. Okay. What? Great Emu. And somebody... Again, who is this person who's allowed to know about Emu and go talk to Emu? And then Emu's breathing heavily. Alright. Is that Dokun Dokun sound effects? And then, or just Don Don. And then Joy Boy. And now we have the sunny landing. God, I'm glad you guys made it. So we are, like, this is actually our leaving chapter. Luffy, what happened to those monsters? No idea, they disappeared. What in the world? A robot with Haki? How'd that make them vanish? We did it! We landed safely! Are you okay, Nami-san? I'm fine, but Atlas and Edison... And now we're seeing Saturn's walking stick as he goes up to Emeth. Listen up, Emeth. The time is at hand. The time. This is so cool. We have silhouette of Joy Boy here to talk to Emeth. And Emeth is wearing clothes back then. I'm gonna gather my most powerful Haki and seal it inside you. Is that something you can just do? Whoa. You're bound to live much longer than me. I'm not always gonna be around to help. Ah, that sounds terrible. At some point, you're gonna be in mortal danger. Or someone you want to save will be. When that happens, untie the knot. So when the time is at hand, you'll still be here to help. That's right. Whatever happens, I'll be saving you from here in the past. Just like always. Yeah, that makes me happy, thanks. Now it doesn't matter if you're dead. It'll be like you're still with me. Hey, that's not gonna happen for ages. Ages and ages. I hope I don't get lonely. And Emeth laughs, dreaming of memories. Man, that makes me want to tear up. I got goosebumps. That is such a good ending. And again, we're seeing more of the friendship here between Emeth and Joy Boy. That's so good. The ending to Egghead has been so good. And it's so wild how I brought up how there were some points, like when we were first getting into the Onigashima raid, where I was really, really, really liking like a dozen or so chapters of Wano. And I was like, wow, this is so different from mainland Wano. This is really good. And then, you know, Wano was hit and miss. It had its good, it's had its bad, way more bad. But then the ending totally shit the bed. But then this is like such an opposite case where, I don't know, it shows, I guess, that Oda can write endings to an arc still. Because, again, there were the hits and misses with Egghead. But this ending is so good. This ending has just been so good, and now it just makes me think, I guess we're going to go with the Giants to Elbaf, which I'm excited for. I want to see that. But it's like, do we get into stuff with Kid? Do Big Mom and Kaido return? Because I feel like that could be this kind of situation where an Elbaf arc is about sort of finishing Luffy's beef with the previous generation who's kind of out of the running for the One Piece. Like, we never got Luffy have that moment of defeating Big Mom. Like, it doesn't have to be a big, long, drawn-out thing. It can be fairly quick. We don't have to have a long Elbaf arc. But I would really like to have that moment, since Luffy's whole thing was, I want to beat each of the Yonko. And he beat Kaido, so I think it would be nice to let him have that moment of beating Big Mom. But you know, maybe it doesn't happen. I also like how we're setting up all these different characters like Kobe and Buggy and the rest. Like we saw at the end of last chapter, where we saw the flashes to all these different characters as these are our contenders. These are our guys that are going after the One Piece, and it could be any one of them. This is who Luffy's rivals are now. His rivals right now are Shanks and Buggy and Kobe. And it seems silly. It's like, well, obviously he'd beat whoever in a fight, but it's like One Piece is more than just its fights, it's the story. And story wise, Blackbeard, Garling, these characters that are going now to stop people from getting to the One Piece or to go for the One Piece themselves. This is Luffy's competition now. Luffy's competition is now narrowed down to like probably like a dozen or less people. So yeah, it's crazy. I mean, the Gorosei don't look super strong here. They don't look super good, but Oda takes any chance he gets to make the world government look shitty. So that just happens. But yeah, I think this was an incredible ending. I'm super happy with it. I guess we're going to Elbaf, and I don't know exactly what happens with Kuma. I think maybe Kuma just has his final shutdown death because he's been on death's door for kind of a while now. So if he hasn't already, just kind of off screen, when he was looking and smiling at the final punch from Bonnie there, I feel like Kuma's gonna have his like final little moment here at some point. Then it makes me think, what are we going to do with Bonnie and Lilith? And I want Bonnie and Lilith to stick with the Straw Hats for a bit, even if they don't like become a real Straw Hat. It's like Carrot traveled with them for a while. Kinemon and Momonosuke traveled with them for a while. I think it'd be neat. Law, of course. Law was around for a long time. I think it'd be neat to just keep them on, at least going into Elbaf. Maybe they don't leave Elbaf with the Straw Hats for whatever reason. But I think keeping them around for now. I really thought that the revolutionaries were going to end up showing up, and that's where Bonnie would go off to sort of carry on Kuma and her mother's will with the revolutionaries. But since the revolutionaries have once again been common revolutionary L, common dragon as a fraud L, doing absolutely nothing whatsoever ever, then I guess it doesn't make sense for her to go with them right now anymore. So who knows? I just, to me, she feels, I've said it before, she feels weird joining the Straw Hats, but it also feels weird for her to not stick with them at this point, because it feels like we're just so close to the end, and maybe I'm wrong about that, but it feels like we're so close to the end, and she's right there with us still. I still think, to me, my short list of places to go, after Wano, I said what I thought would be a good lineup is Vegapunk's Island, Elbaf, the Moon, Lodestar, but maybe only for like a dozen chapters or less, kind of like what was it, only like 5 or 6 chapters we were in Loketown. I felt like Lodestar and Loketown could be like similar arcs to each other. And that's kind of, and then of course Hachinosu. And that's really all we needed to hit before the finale, getting into Laugh Tale stuff. So now we've taken one of those off the playing field. We have taken Vegapunk's Island, which we now know as Egghead, off the playing field. So again, now I just think we need to have the only member of the worst generation that we haven't gotten deep into is Uruj, and the only big antagonist that we haven't brought back into the fold is Enel. We've brought all of our big antagonists back into the fold already except Enel. So getting Uruj and Enel back, I think that maybe connect to a Moon arc. So right now my list of arcs we need to get to: Elbaf, the Moon, and Hachinosu. And then I guess like Lodestar, I think it'd be nice to go to Lodestar for like maybe like 5-6 chapters, just a super short thing, or like Jaya was super short too, just a super short thing, because it was built up that Lodestar was the last official island, and then like it's uncharted and you have to figure out where Laugh Tale is. So I think it's just a sort of, I don't know, milestone achievement kind of thing to have the Straw Hats at least stop over at Lodestar. So really, Lodestar, maybe not a full arc for that one, but maybe just 3 arcs left and then the finale, to me. I think we need to do Elbaf, and even then, Elbaf doesn't have to be that long. We do the Moon, and it's not like these arcs have to be separate things. These arcs can be kind of like part of the finale. Like, we could go to the Moon, and that's where we start dealing with stuff with like Garling and some of the God Knights, maybe. So that could be tied into the finale. That could be tied into our journey finding Laugh Tale or whatever. And then, of course, Hachinosu, it being the pirate island, it being the base of the Blackbeard pirates. I do think we might not get a Hachinosu arc, but we probably will, and we probably should. But now that Hachinosu, I guess, can maybe move around because of Pizarro, like, maybe we don't need to have a full arc just for that. Even though I always thought we kind of would, since it's so important to like the port incident. The name is leaving me. But that incident's important. It's important to the Rocks pirates. It just feels like we should have that. So yeah, that's my list. Lodestar stop off at some point, and my list of arcs is going to be Elbaf, Moon, and Hachinosu, and then that'll all tie into the ending. We'll have the final arc where I guess we get Laugh Tale, the final war, whatever. I mean, we're all assuming there's going to be a war, but it really might not be, because again, if we handle... We messed with the Gorosei a bit here. If we mess with the God Knights in... Like, if we mess with some of the important, like, Yonko-ish characters in Elbaf and Hachinosu, like Hachinosu could be the end point for Blackbeard or whatever. And then we have, like... messing with the God Knights at the Moon arc or whatever, then by the time we're getting to Laugh Tale, maybe Laugh Tale is like a messing with Shanks arc. And by the time we get to the final war, there might not really be that many enemies or contenders left, to be honest with you. But I love this Joy Boy and Emeth stuff at the end. It's so good. It's so good. I don't often go and look at a bunch of other reactions anymore, but I think it might be worth going to check out some other reactions for this one. But yeah, either way, let me check out some of these. We did get Iron Giant. We did get Thousand Sunny. I don't think we got Wano Piece. Don't know if we got Nika mention. I don't really remember. A parent named character death? Not really. Not like really. We got Gorosei, but I don't remember any Admiral. I don't remember any food, but we might have. I just don't remember it. Silhouetted character for sure. Devil Fruit Awakening for sure. Cypher Pole, I don't remember us seeing any. Named attack. Did we see any named attacks? I don't remember if we did. So this is what I've got. We might have, like, if I missed any that you want to fill in, you can, but I got my bingo pretty early on. And with that aside, with all that in mind, I'm gonna go ahead and end the video. Thank you so much for watching. I think this chapter, much like last chapter, I don't even know which one was better. These two are just like, I hate when people throw around peak, because so many people were saying peak fiction back when One Piece was trough fiction at the end of Wano, when it was just some of the most garbage shit that was coming out of manga in general. So I hate saying that, but these last two chapters have actually, like, unironically been some pretty peak stuff. They have been so good. I guess that's it, though. I guess that's the end for this video. Thank you for watching. Like if you did like the video, comment down there. Tell me what you thought of this chapter, my thoughts and reaction. Subscribe for more One Piece, much more on the channel. Follow on Twitter if you want. If you want a link to the Discord server, it's free and open for anyone. Just ask and I can give you a link. If you would like to help support the channel and get these, well, you can drop a super thanks down below if you want to. But if you want to get these One Piece videos a little bit early and get your name at the end of every video, then you can hit join down below to become a member, or go to patreon.com/Haku of the Tubes, or a link will be in the description to become a patron. Thank you so much to people who are patrons and channel members already. Thank you so much to Chosen Regular Evan Holly, Magical Girls, FRNono, Abyss Knight, JA, DD Ban, Irony, David Langstaff, Folded Goal, or Sheridan Students, David Langstaff and Folded Goal, Slayer Candidates, SG and Stains Eater, and Pure Element, Pate Ariel. Thank you all so much for your support. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.